Awesome. Welcome to Jerry Berry's Friend-Tastic Library, the library where I talk about everyday average people about their fantastic lives. I don't think I said that right. Anyways, and so going to regular libraries, you can come to the Friend-Tastic Library and check out people. It's really early, so I think I messed that up, but it's okay. Today I'm talking to Seabass. He's my husband's friend from high school. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
elementary
So,
school.
oh shit, I didn't know it was that long. Okay, awesome. Seabass is a MMA trainer. So yeah, we'll just get into it. How are you? How's your day?
Good, 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 good. Yeah, I was a fighter and trainer. I don't fight anymore, but um, yeah, trainer to fighters and the
Awesome.
regular people.
So you are you did you graduate in the same grade as Chris?
No, I'm a year older than Chris,
Okay, cool.
but we live like right down the street from each other, so like our family knew each other. So it was solved at the small town, so
Yeah.
everyone knows each other.
Yeah.
Someone farts, everyone smells it. You know what
Yeah. For sure.
I
So I usually start off by talking about how we met, which is interesting because I've met you one time in my whole life and it was at my wedding.
was at your wedding, yeah.
I had no idea who you were until my wedding, which happened a lot actually. You weren't the only one. Because Chris knows everybody and he's friends with everybody. And
Yeah, and I was
so
gone. I mean, I've been gone a long time, so
yeah,
I don't go back
I
much.
I always say you're like the Chris Brander of Soledad, if you've ever seen Just Friends with Ryan
No,
Reynolds.
no, I didn't see that one. Oh wait, where he gets all fat.
Yeah, yeah. So he goes to
Yeah,
high
yeah,
school.
yeah.
I'm not insinuating that you were fat in high school.
No, no,
I
no. I
because I
get
don't
it.
know you, but yeah, he leaves New Jersey and he's like, fuck you guys, I'm never coming back. I'm gonna
It
be
comes
make
back
it
with like a
big.
Porsche. Comes back with a Porsche or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. He goes to LA and gets really cool.
Yeah.
So that's because at my wedding, you were like the odd guy out. My husband and all of his friends and myself are all just like weird nerds. That like whatever. And then you're like tall, tall and normal looking, and you have like a cool person job in LA.
Thanks.
I mentioned this in one of my previous episodes too. I interviewed his friend Melissa that he sings with because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she was the same way. I expected her to be like the rest of the friends from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really like pretty and cool. So
Okay.
anyway,
Right on.
so yeah, what made you move to well, I guess yeah, whatever. I'll just ask it now because Chris wanted me to ask you what made you move to LA.
I gotta get solved at it. I mean, like my mentality. Honestly, my mentality was you can't make $1 million. Whether I make $1 million or not, you can't make $1 million living in Solomon.
That's very true. I don't know how you
That's
well,
just
not legally.
yeah, exactly. Like that's my thing. Like if that was my main thing to get out. Like I go, look, if I can't, you can't have that growth, why would I stay? Because
Yeah.
then you're limiting yourself. So my mentality was like, well shit, if you work at McDonald's or Carl's Jr. or whatever, sorry, my dog is chorizo.
Oh, hi Teresa. Teresa has his own Instagram for those that
He
don't know.
does. Chorizo's world. He has his own phone. Sometimes I take it from him because he acts up, but he's pretty good most of the time. But um I it was like whether I made $1 million or not, but it was like, man, there's no opportunity there for that. So and I
Yep.
thought if you're working at McDonald's, I was working at before when I was in high school, I was working at Carl's Jr. and I thought like, well shit, you can work at Carl's Jr. anywhere in the world. Why work here? Why stay here? Like what
I
for
love
real?
that.
Like it's like if you work at a gas station, would you rather work at a gas station where there's just a fucking freeway and mountains on the other side, or would you like to look at an ocean, look at the beach?
That's very true. I like that.
Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can live like I was in Thailand a few years ago and I'm walking from the gym from my house, from my place where I was staying to the gym, and people have nothing. They have like little huts,
Yeah.
but they're happy. They're the happiest people in the world. Like they have a beachfront view. They're happy as hell. Like let's like you know what I mean? It's just you just gotta have something that's gonna just aesthetically pleasing. Like I have, it's funny. I have a thing where like if I'm in a neighborhood, I have to live in a neighborhood where I can at least see the water
Yeah.
because then you can be anywhere. You can be
Yeah.
in a neighborhood. You look around. You're like, I can be in Salinas. I can be in Bakersfield. I can be in Riverside. I can be in just places where don't really want to be.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It looks the same.
Yeah.
So I like to like where I live, it's in Long Beach, but it's in a little suburb called Signal Hill.
Uh-huh.
So it's up higher on a hill. So you get to like, I have a view of like the whole city. So if I walk like to the balcony of my bedroom, I can see a good view of the city. Then I walk to the corner, like where I live, like my corner, I can see the ocean. I can see the port. I can see Queen Mary. Like, so.
That's cool.
So just that alone, just the little view, it's a change.
Cool.
It's nothing it's not repetitive where like the neighborhood, you look on your neighborhood street, it can be anywhere in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that.
And
I moved from my crap hole town and I moved to California, so I get it. Is that mug supposed to look like a music thing? What are they called? Speakers? A Marshall? I can't hear you. I think you muted yourself. Or your headphones broke. Can you hear me?
You there?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
Anyways.
Yeah, so I thought like, man, like why stop? Why limit? Like why stay here? I mean, there was nowhere to go from there.
Yeah, for sure. We live in Greenfield now, so I get it. But I have a good job in Salinas. Like I don't work. You can't work in town.
No.
If you do, you work at the prison, and that's it. That's the end.
And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be a correction officer.
Yeah,
that seemed like one of the only jobs that you can make a decent living and benefits on stuff. But I'm like, I didn't want to go and deal with prisoners every day.
Yeah, same. I almost did. Because I was at Hartnell and I almost went for nursing to be a nurse at the prison.
Yeah.
Luckily, I changed that up because I make good money and I have a really cushy job.
Right. Yeah. No, so I mean, that was it. And then I was out when I was in school. I was at Hartnell. I was working for KMBY, the radio station, or Mancow and stuff. So then
I had heard about this. I was going to ask you about this.
So then, like, I got a taste of what was out of Monterey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you just start seeing the bigger picture of things. Like, fuck, there's more shit out there than just Hartnell College and shit down in San Jose State or something that's right up the street.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds nothing bad about San Jose State. It was just too close.
Yeah.
Too close to where I was from.
I got a whole new view on life and people whenever I moved out of the little shithole I came from.
Yeah.
No offense to the people that still live in that shithole that are listening.
Yeah. No, and so.
And I'm the same as you. I can't go back anymore. Like I don't. My dad is upset about it, I'm sure, and my sister's probably not very happy. But I can't. It's not worth my money. The money it takes to fly back to Pittsburgh, I can like almost go to Disneyland for that price.
Yeah.
So.
And I'd be freezing.
Anyways, I did an in-person interview with Rick, because I think you know Rick, right? Rick Scolari.
Yeah.
So I did an in-person interview with him, and it can never be posted because we got too drunk, so it doesn't even make sense. But I think on that episode he said that he called into your radio station once or something. I had no idea that you were even a DJ until he said that.
I didn't know he did. Maybe. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Rick tells a lot of stories, so I never believe any of it. But...
Okay. I don't remember, but I don't know. Maybe did. I mean, that was a long time ago, and I've been hitting the head a lot over the past since then. So
Are you a single Pringle with no kids by choice?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm single now. No kids by choice.
You had a date for my wedding like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that was my girlfriend. Yeah, 4 years ago we broke up.
R.I.P. to her, I guess.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, her life sucks now. R.I.P. Yeah, her life's whack now because I'm not in it. So it's like you're gonna have more fun than being with me. But,
so I won't throw too many people under the bus, but we had to come up with a seating chart for our wedding because everybody's like from South County, and you all dated each other at some point. So we had to I'm
trying to think who I dated from that wedding. Just one person.
Yeah. So it happened a lot, and we had to make
that
sure
was like I did her like when I lived there. That was like 20 years ago.
Yeah. So I don't think yours was as dramatic because I don't think the other person really cared either. But there was like a lot of instances where people were like, oh, is so and so coming? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, well, I can't be near her. My wife doesn't know that I dated her. Or my husband, I never told my husband that I dated him. That happened like more times than it should have, honestly, for somebody for shit that happened like 20 years ago.
Like, why does it even have to be? Why does it have to be even brought up if it's that old? Like, I
Oh,
remember,
no.
yeah, like I ran into her. I haven't seen her in years. She was married, and I was, hey, oh, is your husband? Nice to meet you. This is my girlfriend. Like,
Yeah,
we're kids. We're kids.
yeah,
Fuck.
that's how I feel about it. My third episode on here was my high school boyfriend because I
Well,
wanted
you
to
think
see
about
it.
it,
I
but, like,
wanted to see how he was doing right now.
yeah, exactly. But like, it's like the person when I was dating her, like, is it even that serious? You're kids, like 19 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Just
nothing.
both shit people at that age, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how did you get into MMA fighting and training?
I was okay. So I'm on campus and I'm trying to do the music thing out here, and try to get back in the radio out here. And I'm on campus, and I had a friend in one of my classes who I became friends with, the guy who lived out here named Calvin, and it was funny because he always walked around just like in tank tops, a wife beater, tank tops, shorts, and sandals all day in school. And I'm like, shit,
it sounds
like,
so Southern California. He should be in a movie.
yeah, that's how I am now. That's all I wear now. Is I don't wear shoes. I hardly wear shoes. Like, if I wear shoes, I was just in Colombia a couple weeks ago and I'm walking around with shoes on. I'm like, my feet hurt, guys. I gotta put on my sandals. Like, I'm not used to wearing shoes anymore. It hurts. They hurt. But
wait, I need to know, are they like man sandals? Are they sandals with socks? Are they chanclas? Like, what sandals are you rocking?
It all depends on how I'm gonna rock. You know what I'm saying? If I want to wear tall socks, I'm gonna be a down ass fool. I gotta wear the regular slip-ons.
Okay.
If I'm not gonna wear socks, I gotta wear chanclas. You know what I'm saying? From one to the gym or something.
Okay.
Usually, I mean, I'm always barefoot at the gym, so I hardly have any socks on.
Okay.
So,
anyways, so Calvin.
Yeah. Oh, so he was just my buddy, and I became friends with him in one of my classes, and just BSing with him, and he had a flyer for like a fight. I'm like, fight? It's some underground. This is in 2000, so this wasn't even legal. Wow. You gotta realize, in California. So I was like, damn. And he had a fight, this old underground fight in this place, in this little city called San Pedro here. We went, and like the who's who in fighting were there, but we didn't know who they were yet because they weren't big yet. UFC wasn't big yet or nothing like that. And it was all in this corner. So these are training. I'm like, dang, like, it's pretty a big thing, but it's like hidden. It's like underground. It wasn't legal.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw him. I went to it, and the next day I saw him in school, or not 2 days there. I saw him on campus, was bullshitting about it. He's like, come work out with me. And I used to play like football and stuff. So I was like 230 pounds, 240 pounds. Started playing when I was playing football. And I just knew how to lift weights for like football. I didn't really know how to like get in shape. Just just lifting weights all day. You know.
Yeah.
And and he goes, come work out with me, man. And I was like, all right. So I went to his gym in Huntington Beach. It was like a straight fight gym. It's called Huntington Beach Ultimate Training Center. It's the first full MMA gym in Southern California.
Wow.
So yeah, like other gyms around here were either like kickboxing gyms or wrestling gyms or jiu-jitsu gyms. Nothing was like full on.
Uh-huh.
And I went there and I didn't have no intention of fighting whatsoever. I just wanted to get in shape.
Okay.
You know, and get like down to like 200 pounds. I was like, like I said, I was like 235 pounds. I was big.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in college, you're drinking, pounding booze. And
I feel like if you're only working out for the purpose of football, you're probably not very flexible. So
no, it's different type of workout, different movements. You know. So I went there and he's like, want to work out? I'm like, man, I don't want to do this. Like, that's the last thing I want to do is get into fights. I was trying to get out of Salinas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So then he just come check it out anyway. I went and I didn't want to fight whatsoever. So it took me like another 2 weeks to go back. Just do classes, like regular kickboxing, cardio classes on the bag. Okay. And as I got there, I did my first class. This guy named Rob McCullough, who's K1 is a big like kickboxing organization, and he was like one of the top dudes in it at that time. And I was already a fan of him because I was always watching fights already.
Okay.
So I was already like, damn, this guy's gonna like be my trainer. Like, he's teaching the class. That's cool. Started going 1 day a week, turned into 2 days a week, turned into 3 days a week, turned to 4 days a week, turned to 5 days a week. I just like the way I felt every day. I was doing kickboxing 3 days a week and jiu-jitsu twice a week. So I was there 5 days a week.
Crazy.
And then I liked the guys that were there. You know, I'm still meeting friends here on campus, but it's still kind of weird because it's still a new city. I'm not used to so many like other people other than Mexican and Filipino.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's all there is in all that in Selena. So I was still uncomfortable. It was still really weird. It was a culture shock to me. It was still really weird. Like seeing so many other race of people. It took me a good year to like adjust. No lie. Like it was anxiety. It was weird. It was really weird. I was just like, fuck, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But and when I started going there, I felt comfortable there. It was like a group, it was like a club in a way. You know what I mean? And then I started working out there, became friends with like the trainers, the people working out there. And the next you know, we started like sparring. Like, hey, I want to get you sparring. Like, I don't want to spar. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to get hit no more. I didn't want to do any of that. I just wanted to just work out and get in shape. But they're like, no, we need help with certain guys. You're a bigger body. You know, you're decent. I'm like, all right. So I started sparring against some of the guys that were getting ready for fights. They're like, you're not bad, man. Let's get you in one. I'm like, no, I didn't want to. Took them a year to convince me to just spar. And then it took them like another year to convince me to do a fight. Okay. So I trained for like 2 years before I even fought. And then I'll do one to see if I'll do it like a Muay Thai smoker, which is like they don't have them anymore. They're illegal. These were illegal back then either. So like my first few fights were like in this little warehouse in Van Nuys. Like they're smoking, they're betting. Thai music is playing. Like in Thailand. Fight club status? It's like you're in Thailand. Yeah, it's weird. You're like warming up in the parking lot. Then you have to bring your own gloves. You go, you weigh in at 4:00 and they'll be like, okay, you weigh 185. This guy's 197. Close enough. You guys fight. So like, I always fought someone within at least 20 pounds, 25 pounds. Okay. And there's a couple of lies like, this guy only weighs 10 pounds more than you. I'm like, this guy looks like he's like 30 pounds heavier than me, but whatever. We're here to fight. So, but doing those, you get to like, before it got legal here in California, it was put on by the Muay Thai organization, the Muay Thai Association, who now run everything. So it's like they were like grooming you or kind of like scouting. So they would invite you to these amateur fights were like brutal. They're brutal fights because you're in a ring no bigger than your like bedroom. It's tiny. It's not a regular sized ring. They encourage you to sit there and just beat the shit out of each other. Like there's no dancing around because it's so tiny. There's nowhere to go. Cool. So after you do that, like they keep inviting you back, and then you have like little titles and stuff, like amateur titles and stuff. But it's like a breeding ground for like the pros. So not everyone got to go fight. Like had to get invited. And then after that, I started doing good, and then MMA started paying. Like I remember when I won the title, my title, it was the California State Muay Thai Association Championship. When I won that, from the actual league, I got like $800 from the league. So I was the champion.
What did you do? What was your day job? By night, illegal fighting.
But sponsors, I got paid with sponsors. I was able to get like a good, like almost 10 grand with sponsors, which paid. Okay.
So there was no day job. This is the day job and the night
that was my job. Yeah, that was my job. In between, I would like train people or teach a class here and there. I only worked like maybe 3 or 4 hours a day, and then I trained the rest of the day because that was my other job. I had to stay in shape. Which was fine because I didn't go out to do anything. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere and do anything. Like I wasn't allowed. My manager and coaches wouldn't let me. Like example, there was this place that sponsored like a surf shop out here that sponsored us, and I remember you tell Chris I used to like bring shoes like from DVS. Like, hey, you guys want some shoes? Like I'd be sponsored with shoes. I felt like a skater kid. We would give shoes and stuff. But I remember they gave me like a nice snowboard, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna try snowboarding. Had a free snowboarding, got boots, I got the whole thing, and then my coach walks the manager like, what are you doing with that? Can't go snowboarding. What if you get hurt? You can't fight. Like, I ain't paying your money. Give that away. And then they'll give me my stuff with like one of my jiu-jitsu coach and stuff. I'm like, so there's a lot of stuff I didn't get to do because I couldn't go play basketball. I love playing basketball like just at the park. Wasn't able to do that because if I got hurt or something, I can't compete to make money. Like, so
yeah,
there was a lot of
restrictions. That's like a professional athlete. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
So and that makes sense.
There's a lot of stuff that I can't do, and there's a lot of stuff that wasn't like like they always like for example, like after I stopped fighting, I had to like learn how to like do my taxes and be an adult, because when I was doing all that, for real, like it was an argument I had with my ex. She's like, you know how to do this? I was like, no. I was like, okay, I was nurtured. Like when I was fighting, our coach was like, don't worry about nothing. Especially when I'm on like Rampage's team or manager at the time, he's like, don't worry about nothing. All you do is just worry about focus and fight. Train, stay in shape, and fight. That's it. Just make sure you write your rent check every month. That's it. And there, make sure I had money in my bank. Make sure I had food. You know what I'm saying? Or don't worry about nothing.
Yeah.
Your taxes, give us this. We'll do it for you. Even like our Facebook at the time, like we had someone doing stuff for us.
Crazy.
So there'd be times where like I would get like messages. I would even feel like, I messaged you, you don't even say nothing back. I'm like, oh, let me go check. And then they would be like, hey, there's someone on there, or like there'd be someone like checking doing our social media for us, and they'd be like, hey, there's someone on there that says they're your cousin or something. You might want to read that personally. I'm like, all right. So I would go back and read the ones that I thought I needed, they thought were important or something.
Weird.
Because there was a lot of, because it's weird, man. Because like it's funny because people, I was doing, I think I had a decent little career in what I did. I got a little notoriety, had a little, I was known. I'm known a little bit out here in Long Beach and SoCal, but not by far rich. And it's funny because people think when I went, that's one reason I didn't go home a lot too, because I got like people hit me up for money. It was really, really weird. People I didn't even talk to hit me up for money. I'm like, think I'm rich? Like, I'm not rich. Like I did a couple
like
TV
I
shows.
live in California. I'm poor like the rest of you.
Like I did a couple TV shows and all that stuff that fighting helped me get. But it's not like I was a regular on a sitcom where I got paid royalties. Like you got paid for the gig.
Yeah.
You know, or if my fights were on TV, I got paid for that event. I don't get paid royalties for the fight. They show it over and over. It ain't like it ain't a sitcom.
Yeah.
So I remember I went one time. I was home for Thanksgiving, and the day after Thanksgiving, people meet up, and we went to the the watering trough, and there were my cousins, my brother, just family members, just kind of
the
catching up with a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I'm hanging out, and I got people from high school. Hey, buy me this, buy me a beer, buy me that. Can you loan me a few $100s? And who the fuck? What's your name again, dude? I don't even remember your name. And what the fuck? And honestly, that was one of the main reasons. And it's not like trying to solve all, but people think just because you don't, people are so, it reminded me how small-minded certain people are.
Yeah.
Staying in a small town. They think just because you saw me on TV once mean I'm loaded. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Like it's weird. And that was one reason why I stopped going back home, because it's just, like when I go home, I just stay at my mom's house or my brother's house. I wouldn't want to leave because I got like bugged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not even like in a cool way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't. I was even bugged by the people that I wanted to get bugged by. Like I go to the grocery store, to that big market that's out there now, the big grocery store. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, hey, what's up, man? Oh, how you been? Oh, cool. And then next, like, I think it's genuine. They're like, then here comes like some sort of favor. Oh, maybe I can come down there and like hang out with you and stay with you, this and that. I'm like, when did we ever hang out?
Yeah. I don't think I want you in my place of residence.
Yeah.
Thank you though.
Yeah. So it's just weird. It's just weird. And then like, where I really saw that was one time, they saw me like, when the guys walk out in the UFC, I'm like with them, or I was on a couple of the countdowns and stuff like that. And people come and ask me for tickets. It's like, I'm with the fighter that's fighting. I don't work for the organization. Like, it's weird. It's weird the shit that people ask you for.
Yeah.
One time, here's a good story where I felt like kind of like little like, did this a little bit, where it was Rampage was at his fight. He won his fight. We all won because we all put money on him, and we all won. He won the title. Okay. So we all had a blast. So the whole team, we're going to a club, and it's called Pure. It was at Caesars.
Pure.
And Club Pure in Caesars. So I don't know if you know when you go to the clubs in Vegas, there's no line. It's just a cluster of fucking people just trying to get the like the doorman's attention so they can try to get in. There is no like single file line.
It's never like it is on the movies.
It's just a cluster of people. Hey. So you just gotta get to, right. So we're all kind of just meeting in front of the club, and then our manager comes and then grabs all of us and like, all right, cool. Starts walking us in, and they're telling the people that they're related to this person I'm with. the girl I'm dating at the time, we're walking in, and I just hear someone go, Seabass. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, my name right here in Vegas. That's weird. I turn around, it's a guy from high school asking if can you get me in the party? And I go, I'll see you in there if you can get in. And I just kept walking by. And then I got a bunch of text messages that night from him, or not text messages, but like Facebook messages.
Yeah.
That were like, hey man, it'd be cool. I'm with my brother. Be cool if we got to meet Rampage and something. I go, all right, cool. That's awesome. I'm like, why are you asking me? I ain't doing anything I ain't gonna do nothing for you. Like, what have you done for me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was one.
I did hear a story from Chris that he went down to LA to see a band. I cannot remember where. I wish he was in the garage, but he's with the kids right now. But anyways, he went down to LA somewhere. He was going to go see a band at like a small spot. And he texted you and was like, hey, I'm in town. I'm going to go see this band. And I guess you guys like similar music, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you just showed up and you're like, all right, I'll see you in there. And you just like walked in. You didn't have tickets. You just like showed up, went in. And then after they got through the line and, you know, gave the ticket to the person or whatever, then they saw you.
I was waiting with the beer.
Yeah. Drinks waiting.
I think that was a Type O Negative show.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like it was funny. This job really I got lucky. Like I moved out here I was a filmmaker. I moved out here to try to make film and music. And when I was in a band with Chris, I was trying to get those guys move with me. I was trying to get them to move with me. I tried to convince them, all of them, Chris, Joe, they wouldn't do it. Come stay with me for a week. Like I'm starting. So once I moved out here, I try to like, especially when I started fighting, I just started like, my coach goes, you gotta be your biggest cheerleader. You gotta be your biggest flyer. So every time you go somewhere, try to make sure people know who you are. But don't be an asshole. Be like the friendly guy that everyone wants to be friends with. Just like, you know, cheersing everyone or something. Just get people to know your name, dude. I go, all right. And then I started bartending. So that's how I was able to start meeting people. But I got lucky because I got to meet like this job that I have and had, you know, being a professional fighter, professional athlete. I got a lot of cool things, a lot of cool experiences. Like I don't have kids. I'm not married, not yet. I want a kid, but now I'm ready. Because I got a lot of shit off my system. I got a lot financially. Things are getting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm prepared. And, but I had a lot of experiences already. Like I've got to do a lot of cool stuff that I wouldn't have been able to done if, you know, if I didn't move out here. If I didn't move out here, like I got like
kids would have wrecked all that shit for sure.
Dude, yeah, like I have like some awesome memories I'm never gonna like that people are never gonna have. Like, you know what I mean? I got the private party at the Playboy Mansion once. Like,
wow, that's crazy.
That was awesome. I was cool. I had his number for like 3 months. Pauly Shore, like I was cool with him. Like it was cool. Like it was like, you know what I'm saying?
I have a real question about that though. Are the Playboy ladies like really that hot, or is it kind of like Hooters where they're just glorified?
No, they're hot.
Okay,
they're hot.
I just wanted to like
to get like.
Is it a lot of makeup though? Like, oh, that's what kind of like. I'm like, oh.
Well, everywhere is a lot of. I mean, yeah,
okay.
but
so maybe in the morning she wouldn't look that great from the neck up.
Well, you look at her in the morning, then you look at yourself in the morning, and she's amazing. I look at myself in the morning. Oh, yeah, she's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at myself in the morning, I look at her. It looks better than me. So, yeah.
I have a weird question because you were a fighter and I've seen UFC before. I'm not a sports person and I'm not a violent person, but I date dudes. So I've watched UFC. Do you know your arm span length?
72, I think.
72.
4? I can't
74
remember.
inches. And then how tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
Okay, so that means 6 feet is 72. Okay, cool.
I think, or 7. I can't remember.
In case you didn't know, but you might. I don't want to mansplain something to you, but human beings, their wingspan is supposed to be the same height as them. So if you're 6'1", then your wingspan is supposed to be 6'1". But a lot of professional
60. What is that? 72 inch? 72,
yeah.
right?
So if you said 74, that totally makes sense. But for a lot of professional athletes, their wingspan is longer than their height. Like Michael Phelps. I'm like a math person, so this is what I pay attention to whenever I watch sports. So like that's why Michael Phelps can like completely bear hug himself and reach his fingers on the backside. And a lot of
I can't
a lot of you there's flexibility as well because you have muscles. He's there for streamlinedness. But anyways, if you watch UFC and you pay attention to the wingspan and the height of the person, a lot of MMA fighters, they're longer. Match. They have a longer reach, which makes you a much better fighter because your brain like knows these things without you knowing them. So your brain can think how long that person can reach for survival, but then they reach further. It's very interesting the way it works. And I didn't know if you guys ever discussed that in UFC. That was my roundabout way of asking.
I mean, we asked about like what your reach is to find out our range, but I never knew that it's supposed to be the same as your height. Usually,
yeah. I mean, everybody's different and has, some variability, but on a regular basis, professional athletes have a longer reach. Like baseball players can have more leverage if their wingspan is longer than their height.
Well, I mean, but if you think about it, though, maybe it probably develops out there because if you're a baseball player, you're constantly stretching that arm out.
Yeah, that too.
And then if you're doing whatever sport you're doing, you're constantly using that. You're hanging. So it's like, it's like that.
I didn't think about that because I don't know the workout side of it, but yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like your body starts to adapt to that, I guess. Like, if when you learn how to jump, when you're jumping the first time, you're not going to dunk. You have to like learn how to get there.
For sure.
So I'm guessing maybe it's just a guess. Maybe because of that.
So Chris also mentioned that you guys like similar music. What's your music taste like as a fighter?
I listen right now a lot. I listen to the Deftones a lot. I listen to Tool.
I was not expecting any of this. This is really funny. Okay.
Oh yeah, Deftones, Tool, of course, like Metallica, of course. But like right now, I listen to like a lot of Nine Inch Nails, Deftones, Tool. That's like my genre usually.
I don't know why I just assumed it would be like some type of hip hop or rap.
I listen to hip hop and rap, but that's not my first choice.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, I played a band with Chris.
I guess that's true. And have you always played video games, or is it just new now because of Call of Duty?
I just, what happened? I just started playing a couple years ago, and not really even a lot, just because I got it to. I got a PlayStation so I can stay in contact with my nephew.
Oh,
so I can talk to him,
cool.
and I was playing I was playing like little kid games with him, just so I can just have a relationship with him, just like because I wasn't going home, and and so it was just a way for me to talk to him and have I had 2 days a week with him.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I got it. Well, okay, let me step back. The only reason why I got a PlayStation was because when I turned pro, my coach was like, you got to get something to stay home, keep you home. Because I'm like a social butterfly. He's like, I want to be out and talking to people. And you stay home. So get like a video game system, get a PlayStation or something, just keep you at home.
I love that.
To force you to stay home. It's like, okay. So instead of going out on a Friday night, or a Saturday night, or a Wednesday night, whatever nights, like over here, it's busy all nights.
Yeah.
7 days a week. Something like instead of going out on a Wednesday night, I'm just popping this game. Midnight comes, I'm going to bed.
Okay.
And I remember he had called me. I remember when he called me on a Saturday, like at 8:00 at night. And I jump in the shower, gonna start getting ready to go out for the night, hang out with my friends. He calls me and goes, hey, you're fighting next week. You got to fight next Saturday. Go run right now. I'm like, shit, okay. So I went and ran, and I was like, shit, I'm bored now. So I went and ran, got myself tired, watched TV, fell asleep. That's when he goes, get a video game system. So that Monday I went and got a PlayStation, got 2 games just to fuck with, and then I only played it when I had fights. So I used it mostly for like DVD and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then my nephew started getting out, so that's when I started like playing more. It was pretty much just a distraction before.
A nephew insinuates you have a sibling. So how many siblings do you have?
I have one brother and one sister. So my youngest brother, his son. So that's why I got it, to just have a communication with him, and then have it just start building more of a relationship, because he was growing. I'm not there in his high school year, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that was that. And it's weird because I started hearing his voice change as we were talking. Hey. I'm like, fuck, it was weird. And then So then I had the game system. I was using the game system. Then I started using it mainly for like the apps, the Xbox, or for Netflix and shit like that. So I
Yeah.
hardly even used it for games. And then quarantine hit, and I was like, shit, man, I can't train no one. Just sitting here,
Yeah.
smoking weed. Like, I got to figure it out. I walk my dog for an hour, come back. Like, so then I just start saying, everyone's like, hey, Call of Duty, it's free. Like, download it, man. It's awesome. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. And that was it.
Is the whole UFC culture weed friendly? Is that like an okay thing to do?
Well, the athletic commission doesn't want you to, but I mean, yeah, it is. Like, you'd be surprised because I'm like a hippie at heart. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you'd be surprised at how many fighters are like that.
Yeah.
Like, we're not like aggressive guy. Like, people don't know I'm a fighter until they find out. I don't
Yeah.
tell people, hey, I'm a fighter. I don't say that. I tell people, I teach, I train people. Even
Yeah.
when I was a fighter, I told people I just work behind the desk.
Yeah.
But
So is UFC, if you don't want to talk about this, we don't have to. But I've dated guys that were like power lifters and stuff. Does UFC have steroids available and expected?
all sports do.
All sports do? Okay. I was
All
just wondering.
sports. There's
I
steroids in
feel
every
like with
sport. It just depends on who.
UFC, I feel like with UFC, you're not looking for muscle mass though. You're looking more for like stamina and endurance, right? So
Yeah,
flexibility.
but steroid helps with all. I mean, steroid helps with a lot of too though. Steroids too. It's a mental thing too. Like, people have that. They're like mental midgets.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? Where they can't.
Never heard that term.
It's like we're like, man, I don't feel that strong if I'm not doing it. So it's like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? So they don't have that
Well,
confidence.
I mean, it's a natural hormone in your body, so I
Yeah,
would
it's that
assume it would be a
confidence booster.
Yeah, ego. Yeah.
But I mean, like, every sport has, steroid. It just depends on who gets tested and who doesn't.
Very interesting. Okay. Yeah. The guy I dated, they had ways of getting around it, and a lot of them were very into weed because it would make them eat more. So, but they would just be eating the good stuff that builds muscle, not fucking Cheetos.
No, yeah, like I'll smoke before I go train because it helps everything to stay loose.
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking.
Yeah,
I'm not like, I'm just going with the flow.
I've smoked before I got on my Peloton before. I know that's way not the same thing as you strength training or UFC training, but I have way more fun on my Peloton.
But yeah, you kind of get the focus. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not in your own head. You don't overthink stuff. So when I I gotta go train in a little bit, I'm gonna take a puff or two, and then I'll go and flow for like a little hour, an hour and a half, however long we train, and then feel good after. And you're like, it helps with pain, helps with inflammation.
For sure.
It is a medicine. It is a medicine. It is an anxiety. It's better than fucking Xanax, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
I've taken a Xanax before, and it's just like I felt like I had an edible. Like, I rather do it the natural way than popping a pill. But yeah, there's a big weed culture in fighting. There's a couple. Cool. There's an organization right now called High Rollers.
And
it's rollers with a Z at the end, and it's roll. So when we do jiu-jitsu, it's called rolling. It's called rolling. When you're jiu-jitsu competition, it's called rolling. So they call it high rollers. You got to take a puff.
That's cute.
Right there in the center, and then everyone rolls. The winner gets like a pound of like top weed with like some cash. It's really dope. And you'll see guys. If you watch it, you'll see guys in the UFC competing.
That's cool.
On this tournament, and then there's one called Smokers, where it's kickboxing. You smoke a little bit, and you go out there, and it's just you see more quality fights, man, because everyone's out of their head. No one's overthinking stuff. You see things more fluently. I'm an advocate.
I'm a big weed advocate too. So we're gonna go in like 10 minutes. I think someone's in my garage. Oh, I probably left the door open. I know the door open again.
They're coming in. Save the kids.
Anyways, we're gonna go in like 10 minutes, but I had like quick questions for you before we go. So do you know of the Spice Girls?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Spice Girl?
Oh man. You know what what was her name? The black girl? Scary Spice?
There was Mel B, wasn't there? Was Mel B a Spice Girl?
Whoever the black girl was.
I think Mel B was a Spice Girl.
With the big hair.
I don't know the Spice Girls, to be honest with you, because I'm way younger.
I don't know her name. I remember what she looked like. Because one of them's like a host on one of these
Yeah, that's Mel
American
B.
Got Talent shows or
Yeah,
something.
that's Mel
Okay,
B.
yeah, her.
Okay,
I think
cool.
her.
Do you
Her,
have
her, and what's his name? What's her name was hot too. Well, I think they're all hot except like that sporty one.
I don't know.
But I think the black girl is my favorite one. If I had to pick one, probably pick her.
Do you have a favorite spice?
You know, I like cinnamon a lot.
That is so popular.
I put it in my coffee.
I do like cinnamon in my coffee and my tea.
It's a good
what you can do too,
antioxidant.
Yeah, what you can do too that really clears me out if I'm having like allergies or hangovers or anything is I buy cinnamon sticks on Amazon and I just stick that in boiling hot water and then I'll drink it. So it's literally just like cinnamon water. But anyways, and then so these are just rapid fire questions before you leave. You've mentioned already that you were in Thailand and Colombia. So that's 2 countries. Do you have any other countries you visited? Like, can you list them or is that the end of it?
Yeah, I've been to Mexico. I've been to Thailand. I've been to all over Mexico, different parts of Mexico, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Puerto Vallarta. I've been all over Mexico. Mexico's awesome. Costa Rica, Colombia, Thailand. There's one more. I just can't remember. I think there's one more.
You don't have kids, but have you seen Encanto, the new Disney movie that's set in Colombia?
No. Is there a lot of coke in it?
No, because it's a Disney movie.
It's a Disney movie. There's gonna be some hidden stuff in it, dude. Trust me. It's a Disney movie. There's gonna be some hidden shit in there. There'll be a scene where there's like some powder that just goes up. Come on.
In the movie, they are all drinking like a lot of coffee. So maybe that was Disney's way of saying like, you know, they're hyped up down here.
Coffee is a big thing over there. But yeah, Colombia, Costa Rica.
Is that why you went to Colombia? Was because of the coke?
No.
That was funny that was the first thing
that's just the main thing because Pablo Escobar and all that. But
what's the drug for Mexico then? Now I want to know.
No,
is it always just, I feel like it's just all coke, honestly.
Every country has their own thing. Like Mexico, you think tequila, Colombia, you think coke. Costa Rica, you think
I think
ceviche.
Taiwan would be not Taiwan. You said Thailand would be one of my favorite places to go. But in Taiwan, there is like a world famous building called Taipei 101 that I really want to see.
All right. Yeah, Thailand's awesome. I was in Thailand for 5 weeks. I went out there to fight. It was amazing. I'm going back, I think, in April.
Is it difficult with the language barrier whenever you go to places like Thailand?
No. Yes and no. It's nothing crazy. I mean, people pretty much are kind of used to it that live there already.
Okay.
Or, stores. But then like I try to, before I go somewhere, well, like, Colombia and Costa Rica, it's Spanish, so that's not a problem. But like try to learn like some basic stuff, like when I like
the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, actually, they know what bathroom means. They all know what bathroom is. You say bathroom, but like,
okay.
But like like universal stuff. But like I try to learn like certain greetings. Hi, thank you, in their language. Hi in their language, or like good afternoon in their language.
Yeah.
Just the basic everyday stuff. I try to learn before I go, and then I'll say it a million times in my head so I don't forget it. And then once you're there, you kind of start practicing it.
That's cool.
Like I said, I was there for 5 weeks, so like try to pick up a couple things, but it's different, but it's fun. I love Thailand. I'm going back in April. I think I'm hosting a retreat. I'm like a Muay Thai retreat. So,
I've never been out of the country, so it all sounds fascinating.
Oh man,
I don't even have a passport.
Oh, forget it. Yeah, I'm going this year. I'm leaving the country 3 times, I think. So
that's awesome.
I think in March,
if as long as COVID doesn't fuck it up, I'm supposed to go on a cruise to Mexico, but it's on the East Coast. We're going to Cozumel.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't been there.
That'll be the first time.
Nice. No, yeah. This year, we'll see in March. I think I'm going to it's a buddy's bachelor party at my birthday, so we're combining them in a way.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So we're either gonna go to Panama or Sayulita, which is a different part of Mexico, which is a beautiful side. But so we're debating on that. Yeah, we're debating on that.
Is that Van Halen? That's Van Halen, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking. Just talking to Rick about that whenever he was here.
and then there's Thailand in April, I think April or May. And then I told my nephew, like, I want to just share experience. It's all about experiences. So it's like I want him to have a good life experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's people that I know it, like you gotta. My thing is like there's only one planet. You have one life. There's one. We gotta see as much of this planet. It's a big planet, but it's not that big.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yes.
sense? Like it's a big planet,
Yes.
but it's not unreachable. We can go on the other side if we want to. It takes a day, but we're gonna get there, right? So it's like I want to like see as much of this planet that God created as much as possible, and do as much as possible in this. We only have one life.
I love that.
You only get one chance, right? You'll get one chance. So fucking do as much as you can. Like fighting, I didn't want to fight. I had no intention of fighting. And when I started sparring, they're like, we'll do one. I go, I'll do one just to see if this stuff works.
See if I like it.
I did it. And I got a draw. So no one won. It was a draw. And I was like, well, let me do one more and just win one. And I won. I knocked the guy out in 65 seconds in the first round, minute and 5 seconds in the first round, knocked him out. And I was like, and I got like $300. And I was like,
wow.
Oh, this is a great, it was like that rush, that adrenaline, that was like that excitement. It was the most excitement I ever had. It was the most excitement I ever had. It was like, you felt so accomplished because it was like, you play football. I played sports in high school, basketball, football and stuff. And like, you win a game, you're like, oh, it's a team effort. But like, this was like you. I mean, your coaches help you, but like, there's no one in there. It's you, one-on-one, the most purest. It's the most purest form of competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm building a life skill to protect myself and the people I love. You know what I mean? So once I had that first taste, it's just like I found out with it. And like I found my niche.
Yeah.
I found my niche. And like I still had to do some music stuff here and there. You know what I mean? With really cool people. Like, so I became friends with some of the guys from Korn. And like Monkey, the guitar player. So my old roommate, who was one of my best friends, was a road manager. And then I trained with another guy who was in a band that they had signed. So I became friends with them. And then like Tito, who was like I trained with back in Huntington, where I started with Ortiz, friends with that band. So they were kind of come around. And next thing you know, they're going to my fights, and I became friends with them. And like it was cool. Like Monkey, I became cool with Monkey before he got married and stuff. Became cool with Monkey. And we would go to his house on Wednesdays and barbecue and go watch a reggae band. That was our Wednesdays. And we would I'd sit there like at night and we barbecued like at 1 a.m. after we get back from the bar. 2 a.m, we just we had a thing, we put cheddar wurst. That was the thing, cheddar wurst and a case of beer. Throw them on the grill at midnight or 2 a.m, whenever we come home, have beers and just pull out guitars and we just start jamming. And I'm like, I'm sitting like, I'm playing with the dude from Korn. Like, this is fucking awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I've seen Korn so many times. That's so funny.
Yeah, and he'd come over and watch fights. I'd have the fights at my house. He'd come over and just jam on my living room by guitar, like, or watching the fights, like homies just hanging out. Like, I have like cool experiences like that. Like, shit, man, that was cool. Like, I got to go to tour bus with them for a week while on tour and like hang out. Like, I called Chris to invite him, but he couldn't make it. I go, dude, I got passes.
He's
all
lame.
Access. It was
lame old Chris.
It was I forgot why he couldn't make it. It was the last minute too. Like I woke up hungover on the bus, and Monkey goes, "Aren't you from here?" I'm like, "Where are we? I don't even know where the fuck we're at. We're in San Diego last night." He goes, "Mountain View." I go, "Oh yeah, I have my family. I'll call whoever you want." So I called Chris. He couldn't make it. Hey man, if you can come in 3 hours, I got you. My sister went. They all got on the stage while everyone's playing.
Yeah.
After the show was over, there's a big barbecue. All bands. So like Lamb of God.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie, Korn, Hatebreed. Everyone's just chilling. Like, and he was like, "Fuck!" I go, "Dude, I had you. Like, I had you. I would have made you. I was gonna give you an experience of a lifetime."
Chris was the cool guy that never wanted kids. He just wanted to keep partying forever. And then he met me, and he took on dadhood so strong. I think he's a better dad than I think he's the better parent for sure. Like he really fully committed to it.
I didn't know Chris. Chris hardly even drank when I was home. When I stayed there. When I was around.
Yeah, he still does.
He never drank. He never drank. Never did anything. And then after I moved away, and I would come back and visit every once in a while, I'm like, "What? You're having a beer? All right, I'll have a beer with you." Like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very minimal. The only times I've ever seen Chris like kind of drunk is whenever he hangs out with Rick and he has like no need to be anywhere the next day. He has like a safe place to be. Yeah, whenever Rick's in town, he'll drink. Like
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Like I think I had a beer with him at your wedding or something, like, you know.
Oh, we got fucked up at our wedding because we were
Yeah.
catered to the whole day. Like people just kept
Yeah.
bringing us drinks, and we had rides to get us to the bar after and get us home after. So yeah,
Yeah, we
went
to the bar. Went to a bar, right? In Monterey.
Carbones. Were you there? I was so fucked up, dude.
Was
I
it
don't
in Monterey
remember.
or is it
Yeah.
in Salinas? That
No,
bar? It's a bar.
Well, we got married in Salinas, then afterwards we went to a bar in Monterey. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we all hung out. It was like outside or some shit. It was cold as fuck.
Yeah, it was Carbones. I did not
I
know you
remember-
were
'cause
there because I was so
I
fucked
got
up.
yeah, no, I remember I had a hotel and I stayed in Monterey. So I
Yeah,
remember
so
like,
did
it's close. Yeah, it's closer. It's closer.
Yeah, we did the same thing because we knew we would end up at Sal's after. The owner of that bar is the guy that married us.
It's on.
So he
it's
married
on,
us,
it's
and then
on the
he
main
left
street,
and
right?
went and opened his bar for the night.
It's on that main street, right?
Yeah, like Lighthouse.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
'cause I remember-
it's not Carbones anymore. He sold it, but yeah.
Because I remember we walked. I remember we got a hotel like that was nearby. And we just walked.
But yeah, I was pretty messed up at my wedding.
Well,
Apparently, I forget who bought them. I don't know if it was you. No, it's probably Leon that was buying Chris tequila shots, and then I walked up and I was like, "Hey babe, what are you doing?" "Oh, thanks." And I took his shots and like went running with them. Leon was like, "This."
I don't know.
fucking
Maybe
bitch."
could have been me. Could have been him. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe both of us bought him
Yeah,
shots. Probably got fucked up.
I have really funny pictures of you and Joe and Chris from our wedding whenever you guys are like pretty fucked up at that point. Everybody got pretty tossed. So we have really funny professional pictures of those moments.
Nice. Yeah, I was in a suit. I was in a suit and everything.
Yeah. We had no dress code, but you showed up pretty nice. So.
Yeah, gotta have a few nice suits for occasions, you know.
What was that? I think my watch is talking to me again. Yeah, it is. Anyways, I'll let you go. I know you have things to do this morning. I have to go get my nails done. So
yeah, I got training. I got training in half an hour, so I gotta go and crush some skulls.
Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show. I super appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
It was fun getting to know you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Anytime. I'll see you later.